Today our topic is the connection between Stoicism and Buddhism. At first glance, these two philosophies might seem very different. One comes from ancient Greece and Rome, and the other from ancient India. But if you look closer, you will find that they share many ideas about how to live a good life. Both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us how to deal with suffering, how to find peace, and how to focus on what really matters. They're like two paths leading to the same mountain top. Let's explore these connections and see what we can learn from them. First, let's talk about suffering. Both Stoicism and Buddhism agree that suffering is a big part of life. The Buddha said that life is full of suffering, and he called this the first noble truth. He taught that suffering comes from our desires and attachments. We want things, and when we don't get them, we suffer. We get attached to people, things, or ideas, and when we lose them, we suffer. The Buddha's solution was to let go of these desires and attachments. He taught that by doing this we can find peace and freedom from suffering. Stoicism has a similar idea. The Stoics believed that suffering comes from our own thoughts and judgments. They said that it's not the things that happen to us that make us suffer, but how we think about those things. For example, if someone insults us, it's not the insult itself that hurts us, but our reaction to it. If we can change how we think about the insult, we can reduce our suffering. The Stoics taught that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control. By doing this, we can find peace and freedom from suffering. So both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us that suffering comes from within us, not from the outside world. They both say that if we can change how we think and what we want, we can reduce our suffering. This is a powerful idea. It means that we have the power to change our own lives. We don't have to wait for the world to change. We can start by changing ourselves. Next, let's talk about acceptance. Both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us to accept the way things are. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. People, things, and even our own thoughts and feelings are always changing. If we try to hold on to them, we will suffer. The Buddha taught that we should accept this impermanence and let go of our attachments. By doing this, we can find peace. The Stoics also taught acceptance. They believe that everything happens for a reason, and that we should accept whatever happens as part of the natural order of the universe. They called this the Logos. The Stoics believe that by accepting what happens, we can find peace. They taught that we should not waste our energy trying to change things that are beyond our control. Instead, we should focus on what we can control, which is our own thoughts and actions. So both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us to accept the way things are. They both say that we should not try to control everything, but instead focus on what we can control. This is another powerful idea. It means that we can find peace by letting go of our need to control everything. We can stop fighting against the world and start working with it. Now let's talk about mindfulness. Both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us to be mindful. The Buddha taught that we should be aware of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. He said that by being mindful, we can see how our desires and attachments lead to suffering. He taught that we should observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and let them pass like clouds in the sky. By doing this, we can find peace. The Stoics also taught mindfulness. They believed that we should be aware of our thoughts and judgments. They said that by being mindful, we can see how our thoughts lead to suffering. They taught that we should observe our thoughts and judgments without getting caught up in them. By doing this, we can find peace. So both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us to be mindful. They both say that by being aware of our thoughts and feelings, we can reduce our suffering. This is another powerful idea. It means that we can find peace by paying attention to what is happening inside us, rather than being distracted by the outside world. Finally, let's talk about virtue. Both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us to live a virtuous life. The Buddha taught that we should live with compassion, kindness, and wisdom. He said that by living a virtuous life, we can reduce our suffering and help others reduce theirs. He taught that we should avoid harmful actions and instead do what is good and helpful. The Stoics also taught virtue. They believed that the key to a good life is to live with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. They said that by living a virtuous life, we can find peace and happiness. They taught that we should do what is right, even if it is difficult. So both Stoicism and Buddhism teach us to live a virtuous life. They both say that by doing what is good and right, we can find peace and happiness. This is another powerful idea. It means that we can find meaning and purpose in life by living in a way that is good for ourselves and others. In conclusion, Stoicism and Buddhism have many similarities. They both teach us how to deal with suffering, how to accept the way things are, how to be mindful, and how to live a virtuous life. They both offer us a path to peace and happiness. They remind us that we have the power to change our own lives, and that we can find peace by focusing on what really matters. So whether you are a Stoic, a Buddhist, or just someone looking for a better way to live, these ancient philosophies have much to offer. They remind us that the key to a good life is within us, and that by changing our thoughts and actions, we can find peace and happiness. Let's take these lessons to heart and try to live a life of wisdom, compassion, and virtue. By doing this, we can not only improve our own lives, but also make the world a better place for everyone.